What is going on, guys? My name is Jesse Eby. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'll be releasing weekly content in regards to e-commerce, Shopify dropshipping, and everything online entrepreneurship. If you haven't met me yet, consider watching my channel trailer. It's 2 minutes and I'll just introduce myself. And if you're interested and appreciate the ethical Shopify dropshipping content, consider dropping the subscribe. People have contacted me a couple times saying Aliexpress closed my order, or they've been asking for Aliexpress appeal dropshipping information in general. Like I've said before, we need to learn from mistakes, but the mistakes don't need to be our own. So you guys could learn from my mistakes, because a long time ago, I needed to do the Aliexpress verification and I was not prepared for it at all. In today's video, we'll go over how to get verified by Aliexpress. And this is very important so that this issue does not arise and then your orders can be delayed for up to 7 days, in some cases 2 weeks, if you aren't prepared with this information in today's video. So we'll cover not only how to resolve the issue of Aliexpress appeal, but also I want to give you some tips on how to avoid the Aliexpress appeal process entirely. So there's going to be a lot of gold nuggets of information in this video so you could proactively address issues that everybody has, because this issue will eventually happen to you. When it happens, it varies, but Aliexpress freezing your account is inevitable for all people that are starting out. So with the information in today's video, we can avoid pissing off a lot of customers so we could keep them around for long-term sales. So let's go ahead and jump into the powerful content. All right, let's go. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into my PowerPoint here. Guys, by the way, I have a Shopify free trial. The link in the description is going to give you a regular 14-day free trial, but go ahead and send me a message on Facebook and I can make you a custom link to get an extended free trial for 30 days free instead of 14. Aliexpress verification, how to resolve, and most importantly, how to avoid Aliexpress appeal process. You guys stay tuned for the bonus tip. I'm going to go over how to expedite this Aliexpress appeal process, and I'm going to give you a template to contact customers. All of this in the event of if you are in this problem. So Aliexpress verification. So why is Aliexpress appeal process necessary? Why are they doing this? Why are they freezing people's accounts after they make an order? Aliexpress wasn't initially designed for dropshipping, as far as I know, but it is huge for dropshipping. So they're not necessarily taking into consideration that people are drop shipping and they're creating problems for the person trying to get orders to the customer. But the reason they're doing this, the reason they're freezing account, is they're collecting documents to prove that you're not fraudulent. It's ultimately for the protection of the cardholder in case somebody stole the person's information and is trying to ship items around the world. It especially throws a red flag if you live in one country but are selling and shipping to a different country. But I can't stress enough, stay tuned for that bonus tip. It's so powerful for you guys. So how to get verified on Aliexpress. These are the documents that are required for the Aliexpress appeal process. You could go ahead and screenshot this. So I want you guys to know the Aliexpress appeal process depends on the country. But as a general rule, kind of what they're going to require is a picture of your credit card being used. And you guys need to cover all digits except for the last 4 on the card, because you are uploading your credit card online. And it's going to be a human that's looking at it in a different country. Aliexpress appeal bank statement is required. So you're going to have to submit to them a bank statement, which will be the same bank statement as the card that you're using to make purchases. Cover the sensitive information. This is for verifying your name and the name on your credit card match. And it's also for verifying that your name and address matches the ID that you provide them, which I'm going over in a second. And all of this information and the address that's all on your documents should match the address you have on file for Aliexpress. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think this part's entirely true. It's been a while since I had to go through this Aliexpress appeal process, so we'll just ignore that part. But identification and driver's license, or a driver's license, is going to be required. When you submit the driver's license, be sure to cover sensitive information. They don't need your ID number. This is just to prove that your name matches the credit card and the bank statement, and the address matches the statement. And again, we're going to ignore this part because you're going to have multiple addresses on Aliexpress. But all this is just a bunch of stuff to verify that you're not fraudulent. For Shopify dropshipping, it's inevitable that you're going to eventually have to do this because the nature of the business. And when you go into the Aliexpress appeal process, this is an example of what you will see. So in regards to resolving the Aliexpress verification issue, it's all pretty self-explanatory. Those items, go ahead and screenshot so that you have them on hand so that when it does occur, you could quickly submit them. But we kind of want to go over how to avoid the AliExpress appeal process entirely if we can, so that you're not placing orders and then you have a week hold, 2-week hold, suddenly, unexpectedly. Now, I did speak to AliExpress directly, and they told me there's no way to proactively submit the documents to avoid the AliExpress appeal process entirely. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go over some best practices to help you avoid issues, and I'm going to show you how to get the partial AliExpress verification out of the way. You can do that right now. And stay tuned for the bonus tip. I'm going to teach you guys how to handle customers if you end up in this situation, as well as expedite the process if you are in this situation. All right, so AliExpress appeal process, I'm going to go over some tips to avoid AliExpress appeal issues. I realize the text on here is kind of small. Take a screenshot if you want, but when you're doing transactions in AliExpress, do not use a VPN or a proxy when transacting or accessing your AliExpress account. If you don't know what that is, then you don't have to worry about it because you're not going to accidentally use a VPN or proxy. But what you might accidentally do is order using multiple IP addresses. Now, if you can help it, you want to avoid that, and you want to order using a single IP address as much as possible. And you could use the same IP address by just using the same internet connection all of the time. Don't go to every Starbucks in town and complete transactions that way. Every once in a while, bouncing around from IP is probably not going to throw a red flag, but you don't want to be doing it all the time. Another tip is to avoid changing your account details too often and keep all your ducks in a row and prevent your card from being declined. If a card is declined on AliExpress, it's going to throw a red flag for fraud. So make sure your credit card company is aware of where you're ordering from. Some credit card companies will decline an order if it's ordering something from China or some other country. This is all just to protect you in case somebody in a different country got a hold of your card and is starting to run up the tab. Another tip is to not scale your business too heavily when you're first starting out. You want to warm up the AliExpress algorithm and slowly increase your sales and purchases on AliExpress. If you have a huge influx of hundreds or thousands of orders straight off the bat, it's going to throw a red flag to AliExpress as it's fraudulent transactions. So if possible, try to scale a little bit slowly when you're first starting out. Another tip, have multiple AliExpress accounts as backup. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. If one account gets froze, you want to have a second prepared to complete the transactions while the others are going through the AliExpress verification process, so that you could go ahead and place the order for your customers and get it shipped out, or at least get it processing so it's going through everything and doesn't have a week extra delay because of this AliExpress appeal issue. You can get verified on AliExpress. It's actually through Alibaba, since Alibaba owns AliExpress, but I'll leave a link in the description so you could fill out this form and go ahead and verify all your information. That's just one more step that helps show the AliExpress algorithm that you are not fraudulent. All right, guys, we're about to jump into the bonus tip. I have 2 very valuable bonus tips that you do not want to miss, but before we do, go ahead and drop a like on the video and drop a comment below as well. That helps me know whether or not I should continue releasing content like this, as well as show my content to more people and prevent more people from being scammed. So please do that right below. Okay, bonus tip on AliExpress appeal, number 1 of 2. Super valuable here, guys. And maybe some people would think it's common sense, but common sense is not that common. So to expedite your AliExpress appeal process, simply open up a chat with them. Let them know you're dropshipping. I spoke to AliExpress directly and they said that this was the best way to expedite the process since there's nothing you could submit ahead of time to be proactive. They will put an urgency status on your case to resolve it quicker, a lot of times in about 24 hours. If you don't do this, it could take up to a month to be resolved, or it might just get stuck and never resolved until you contact them. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the actual chat page so you could contact AliExpress chat, but here's a little infographic so you could take a screenshot on the steps if you'd like. I was writing bonus tip 2 on AliExpress appeals, and I was just going to give you guys a template on how to contact the customers, but I started getting into my customer service brain of my 10 years of experience, and I want to give you guys some more value in regards to customer service as opposed to just a template that I toss you and then you just copy and paste it. I am going to give you the template, but I want you guys to know that this is a perfect opportunity to provide incredible customer service when you have some issue with customers. We get to provide a human-to-human connection that is lost in today's world of online shopping. Think about it. With so much being automated, humans crave a human-to-human connection. We are wired for that evolutionarily. I've talked about it before. In the grand scheme of things, in human history, we lived in packs not that long ago, living out in the wild. So the way humans humans live life now is not how we're wired in tens of thousands of years of humans being on Earth. You ever see the self-checkouts in a grocery store? The longest line is where the human cashier is. People don't necessarily like going through a robot to make a purchase. A lot of times they want to talk to a human. So if this AliExpress appeal process happens to you and you're panicking and there's some big delay on your orders because your account is frozen, this is a perfect opportunity. You can stand out from the crowd by taking a negative situation and spinning it into and creating an even above average experience for the customer. I guarantee you could do it. I've done it myself, and I've taken negative situations and spun them into really positive experiences for the customers for over a decade with dealing with customers. Bonus tip on AliExpress appeal, just kind of continued here. Remember, I'm going to give you guys a customer service template that you can model and you could adjust to your particular situation to send to the customer if this happens to you. But problems that happen in your business to impact the customer negatively is an incredible opportunity for your company to shine. Instead of a customer just making a purchase, everything going smoothly, and they just going about their day forgetting about you, you can go above and beyond in this situation and over deliver when an issue arises and leave them with a positive imprint that they'll tell their friends about. I do it all the time. A lot of times it's just minor inconveniences that happen with a customer. I over deliver and turn that minor inconvenience into an incredible experience for the customer. So don't trip if a problem happens. Realize that now you have an opportunity to touch the heart of the customer, because most people realize that mistakes happen and they're incredibly understanding when you speak to them as human to human and not some robotic corporate drone that has been outsourced to a third world country to address customer service emails. People are not dumb. So message me on Facebook. I'll send you the template of what I sent customers back when this AliExpress appeal process happened to me. And that was how to get verified on AliExpress. All right, peace out.